each other, chief.
Siblings.
You don't know.
No, but I believe that because colors are crazy. Colors are crazy.
Crazy in what way?
They show each other those
So I'm at Brooklyn Police Station in Hatfield, Pretoria, in Tshwane, and I am sure you know exactly what it is that I am here to do. And in my hands is the criminal complaints, because we are going to be laying charges against the two individuals from the Openchat podcast. And I am acting on behalf of the Patriotic Alliance because I've been given express authority by my party president, the Honorable Minister Gayton McKenzie. It's windy outside. Guess that's what the winds of change feel like.
I just want to confirm.
There we go. And now we've got this one to fill in also. It's the way my form says BR and not C. We must sort out that one on another day. We are done.
The Openchat podcast recently found itself at the center of one of South Africa's most heated public controversies, leading to its removal from DStv and an investigation by the South African Human Rights Commission, SAHRC. The uproar began in early August 2025, when a clip from its premiere episode surfaced online. In the video, the hosts made deeply derogatory remarks about the colored community, describing them as incestuous and crazy, while perpetuating long-standing negative stereotypes. These statements, presented under the guise of casual conversation, quickly went viral on social media, sparking outrage nationwide. Given South Africa's historical context, where racial slurs and stereotypes have been wielded as tools of systemic oppression, the comments were seen as not only an insult to a specific community's dignity but also a direct affront to the values of equality and respect enshrined in the Constitution. The backlash was immediate and widespread. Political parties, advocacy groups, and individual citizens condemned the remarks in strong terms. The Patriotic Alliance, PA, took decisive legal action by filing a notice demanding that the hosts issue a formal, signed apology and remove the offending episode from all platforms. They also lodged a complaint with the Brooklyn Police Station and began proceedings through both the Equality Court and the SAHRC. The Democratic Alliance, DA, echoed these sentiments, stating unequivocally that the comments were not satire or humor but verbal abuse directed at an entire community. Similarly, the African National Congress, ANC, denounced the statements, calling them divisive and contrary to the constitutional principles of unity, dignity, and non-racialism. Civil society groups such as the Cape Forum and the Northern Cape National Coloured Congress also joined the criticism, with many rejecting the apology later issued by the hosts as insincere and inadequate. Even Deputy Minister Mapasika Steve Letsaik weighed in, stressing that media platforms and content creators must balance freedom of expression with accountability, particularly when commentary borders on hate speech. The SA Human Rights Commission quickly responded to the flood of complaints by opening an investigation into the matter. The Commission strongly condemned the remarks, warning that they had the potential to perpetuate prejudice and inflict harm on a historically marginalized group. This official involvement gave the controversy a legal and institutional dimension, indicating that the fallout would not be confined to online debates and media opinion pieces. For many observers, the SAHRC's swift action reflected a growing national unwillingness to tolerate racist rhetoric, whether it appears on traditional broadcast media or on newer digital platforms. MultiChoice, the parent company of DStv, also moved to clarify its position amid public speculation. In a statement, the broadcaster revealed that the podcast contract had ended on July 25, 2025, before the controversy erupted. The decision, they explained, had been taken to make space for other content, and the offensive episode had never aired on DStv's platforms. MultiChoice reaffirmed its commitment to upholding high content standards, stating that they do not condone any form of discrimination or hate speech. Nevertheless, because the podcast had previously been hosted on DStv platforms, the broadcaster found itself having to manage reputational risks and distance itself from the incident. The hosts of the podcast later issued a public apology through their legal representatives. They admitted that their comments were inappropriate, sexist, racist, and reminiscent of apartheid-era prejudices, and described them as un-African. Despite this, the apology failed to convince many critics.
And the fact that in 2025 we must still be sitting here with stupidity. It's not even ignorance at this point, it's stupidity. If you have not taken the time to educate yourself about the colored culture and the colored community, please do not sit on a podcast and talk nonsense.
Openchat podcast needs to apologize to colored people. The next time you switch on that microphone, the next time you switch on that camera, the next words that should come out of your guys' mouth is, "We are sorry for allowing racist and ignorant comments to be made on our platform." I don't know what you guys drink. I don't know what you guys put in your drinks. Or maybe you smoke something off camera, right? Something is happening. There must be some chemicals involved for you guys to have this overconfidence in spewing out ignorant, idiotic comments. The platform has become a breeding ground for moments of idiocy.
As a proud South African colored, I am deeply hurt, disturbed and disappointed by the offensive and ignorant remarks made on the Openchat podcast. Comments about colored people being crazy and how incest is normal for us are not only disgusting lies, they are a direct attack on our dignity, our heritage and our humanity.
In addition, the Promotion of Equality and Prevention of Unfair Discrimination Act, POPUDA, expands on these limits, prohibiting any form of communication that is hurtful, harmful, or promotes hatred against others based on protected characteristics. While comedians and satirists are often given leeway under the banner of artistic freedom, courts have repeatedly ruled that humor is not a defense when speech crosses into harmful territory. In this context, the Openchat's remarks could be seen as not only socially irresponsible but legally questionable. The Openchat's podcast case is not the first time South African media has been rocked by racially charged comments. In 2016, estate agent Penny Sparrow faced national condemnation and legal consequences after referring to black beachgoers as monkeys in a Facebook post, a remark that resulted in AR 150,000 Equality Court fine for hate speech. In 2018, singer Steve Hofmeyr drew widespread backlash for tweeting that black people were the architects of apartheid, prompting boycotts and cancelled appearances. Even broadcasters have faced heat. In 2020, SABC suspended a radio host for making derogatory remarks about immigrants on air. These incidents, like the Openchat's controversy, demonstrate a recurring pattern. Inflammatory public statements about race quickly escalate into national debates about free speech, media ethics, and the legal boundaries of expression. However, what sets the Openchat's case apart is its platform. It originated not from traditional media but from the more loosely regulated podcasting world, showing that these issues are now just as likely to emerge from digital spaces as from established broadcast outlets. The incident raises broader questions about the role and responsibility of content creators in modern South Africa.
Yes, G. I'm just gonna go into a meeting. I want Eugene, Ivan, Marco, all the lawyers we have in the PA. I want a report today of how we're going to deal with those people that said coloreds are crazy. I want us to use everything at our disposal. Tonight, 7 p.m., so I can tell our people what action we are going to take. It's racism. We must never allow people to become that comfortable. If we have to say that about other races, it would have been on every front page. But because the media doesn't care about color people, that's why you see they don't even profile those people. But listen to me, Secretary General of the Patriotic Alliance. When I came out of this meeting today, because I've got cabinet meeting, I would like to know all steps that's going to be taken. We are going to go after them in their personal capacity legally. We're going to go after the show. I don't know all the instruments that is at our disposal legally, but you guys will tell me today at 7 p.m. and I will then post what you guys are going to do. Thank you very much. I want everything else to be dropped. Let's deal with this matter. Salute.
The Patriotic Alliance continued to demand concrete accountability. The DA reported the matter to the SAHRC, and civil society groups argued that the statement of regret was more about damage control than a genuine recognition of the harm caused. For many, the issue was not merely the offense itself, but the fact that such language and stereotypes. To fully understand the public's reaction, it is necessary to examine the historical roots of the stereotypes invoked. During apartheid and even earlier under colonial rule, the colored community in South Africa was subject to a web of discriminatory narratives. They were often portrayed as morally lax, unstable, and socially inferior, stereotypes deliberately cultivated to justify their exclusion from political power and socio-economic opportunity. Laws such as the Population Registration Act of 1950 classified colored people as a separate racial category, deliberately fostering division between black, colored, and Indian communities. The idea of inherent instability or moral corruption was used to undermine the community's credibility and perpetuate systemic inequality. The Openchat's podcast remarks step directly into this historical reservoir of prejudice, making them particularly offensive. For many, hearing these outdated and harmful ideas in a modern media setting felt like a step backwards in the country's struggle for racial unity. The controversy also highlights South Africa's legal position on hate speech. According to Section 16 of the Constitution, everyone has the right to freedom of expression, but this right does not extend to propaganda for war, incitement of imminent violence, or advocacy of hatred based on race, ethnicity, gender, or religion that constitutes incitement to cause harm. If you are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. This helps me out to go and to reach more people. And with that, I want to say thank you and comment your opinions.